What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here for 1077 The Bone. And this week, AEW makes its big return to the Bay Area. AEW presents Dynamite and Rampage this Wednesday, October 16th at the SAP Center in San Jose. Showtime starts at 4:30 p.m. and get your tickets right now over at Ticketmaster.com. And joining me to talk all about it is the Bay Area Zone, my friend, Powerhouse Hobbs. How's it going, Hobbs?
I'm back, Huey. What's up, baby?
Dude, you're looking good. Looking good. Very fitting with the AEW coming to SAP Center. You got the San Jose Sharks jersey on.
Yeah, man. I'm looking good. I may have to, get my hockey jersey game up a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, it's also nice timing. San Jose Sharks just started their season last week. So perfect timing for you guys come to town. Sharks territory. Everyone's getting all up in the Shark season. Excited about that. But man, super excited to see AEW back in the Bay Area. I think almost a year now. There was Oakland last.
November? It was about a year ago since we were last out in the Bay, and it's our first time at SAP in San Jose, and that's a pretty big stomping ground for pro wrestling, which I know you know about.
Absolutely, man. Well, first off, super excited to be talking to you again. Feel a little deja vu. You and I were just hanging out a couple months together at a local indie show. Our good friends over at Big Time Wrestling, and it was really great to catch up with you in person. And you and I talked a lot about what you've been going through. And so, I mean, for the fans out there, let's talk about your injury. I mean, now coming up on 6 months now. You had the knee injury. John Moxley.
Ruptured my patella tendon, so it was it's a pretty gruesome injury.
Yeah,
but me being me, I've been cleared, healed up pretty fast. I'm kind of got that Wolverine serum in me a little bit. So, but yeah, man, I'm cleared. I'm back. It's already been put out there in the universe and in the internet world that I'm cleared. So, it's time to pick up where I left off.
Okay, so now being clear, I mean, listen, I know it's pro wrestling. I'm not even going to waste the question when you're going to return, unless you want to tell me, but I know it's all about surprises, making big returns. So
for anybody, I get that's the number one question I've been getting.
Okay.
You just got to stay tuned. You never know when I may show up.
Okay. Which I think would be very fitting for you to come back in the hometown, the Bay Area. So more reason for people to get your tickets ASAP for AEW at SAP Center over at Ticketmaster.com, also AEWTix.com. And before I forget, I do want to shout out the next night, AEW is going to have Collision and Battle of the Belts 12 at the Stockton Arena. Also go to AEWTix.com for tickets. So, hey, for you AEW fans out there, want to make it a double night, you can go to San Jose tomorrow night, Wednesday, and then Thursday, so you can see all the stars of AEW. And so, Will, what does it mean for you, though, to have AEW back in the Bay Area?
It's home, man. And like I've said, man, people from the Bay are built different. No knock to anybody else across the country, but, I'm a testament to we're a different breed out here. And wrestling is a hotbed right now. And every time that we've been in the Bay, it's been crazy. Whether it was a Revolution when we had our pay-per-view, Dynamite was at the Cow Palace, Collision was in Oakland, and now Dynamite is back in the Bay in San Jose tomorrow night. So we keep coming back for a reason.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'll get into pro wrestling history here in the Bay Area in a second, but I do want to acknowledge it's a stacked card tomorrow night at the SAP Center. First up, you got Adam Cole making his big return. We saw him make his shocking return this past week.
You got my boy Shelton Benjamin taking on Leo Rush.
Yes, an MVP in Shelton Benjamin's corner. That's going to be cool.
Yeah.
And also Mercedes Moné taking on Queen Aminata. Yeah.
So
Jay White versus Christian Cage.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one right there. Then you got John Moxley, the new AEW World Champion. So...
And I saw you tweeted out yesterday, or, AEW tweeted out, "No one is safe," like a quote from John Moxley, the new AEW champion. And you tweeted out a meme of Samuel Jackson saying, "What?" So,
yeah, I mean, is that a threat that I took it personally that tweet AEW put out. So I don't know if they think I'm going to run or hide, or is that an open invitation to show up?
Well, I think it's very fitting for you to acknowledge that, because that was your last opponent before your injury. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing that's someone you have your eye on right away.
Oh, of course. I got my eye on everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. I want to see you go after him. But I do want to ask, though. So we saw Jon Moxley win the title this past weekend against Bryan Danielson. Amazing match. For Bryan Danielson, the stipulation for him with this current run as world champion, when he loses the title, that'll be the end of his full-time in-ring career. Doesn't mean he's going away, he's retiring, he's just gonna probably go on a more part-time schedule. But for you, now that he's lost, what was your reaction to see Bryan Danielson lose the title?
I look at pro wrestling as like the NFL. Anything can happen on any given Sunday for pro wrestling. Anything can happen on any given day. It was a shocker. The aftermath was a shocker. So, I personally thank you, Bryan, for everything you've done for pro wrestling and AEW. But things happen.
I was going to ask, though, I'm curious what Bryan Danielson's schedule is going to be moving forward. With that being said, though, someone there all the time, I know he had a big role behind the scenes. What does that mean, though, maybe losing him in a backstage capacity? Well, for you, from your experience, what's that mean, losing Bryan Danielson around full time from a behind the scenes standpoint?
Definitely we're losing a leader. Someone who's took a lot of wrestlers under his wing. So I think we'll be missing some leadership, but we have a lot of individuals that will definitely step up in that place.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I definitely look forward. There's a great opportunity when one person drops the title, playing opportunity for more people to step up and go after that title. So it's fair game right now. But for you, let's talk about the Don Callis family. Obviously, we all know you're in that faction, the Don Callis family. A lot happened with them this past weekend. First off,
I'm very happy for Takeshita.
Yeah,
very happy for him. Very happy that this angry, mean version of Kyle Fletcher showed up. So I'm very proud of those two guys.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that. So first off, congrats to Takeshita winning the new AEW, or winning the AEW International title off Will Osprey and Ricochet. Amazing triple threat match. But yes, towards the end of the match, we saw Don Callis pull out the screwdriver, attempt to go after Will Osprey, and then Kyle Fletcher comes in, makes the save for Don Callis, and then hits Will Osprey with that screwdriver. So I guess for sure kicking out Will Osprey from the Don Callis family. But yeah, your reaction for the beatdown that they gave to Will Osprey.
Yeah, sometimes you deserve to get your ass whooped. So, I'm nothing really for me to say about that.
I'm guessing you probably wish you could have been there to join in on it.
I prefer sometimes just to sit back and watch everybody. Like I said, I got my eye on everyone. No one's excluded.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, I know if you're breathing and you have a full-time contract on that roster, fair game.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone else I do want to ask about, who's no longer with the company, Mark Henry. His contract expired earlier this year. I know you guys had like a really tight
we still do. We still do. That's my mentor. That's my wrestling dad. So there's whether he is in AEW or he isn't, that's still a very close personal friend of mine who's a mentor. And like I said, it's my wrestling dad. So
cool.
He still picks up the phone for me when I call. So
awesome. No, I was just gonna ask it. Obviously with him not being there, but you can still reach out and contact him.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Is there anyone else on the roster that you really lean on for help or guidance, a veteran of that sort?
He's probably gonna kill me, but Billy Gunn. There's Dean Malenko that I'm always talking to. So there's a lot of vets that are willing still to help me out and help a lot of talent out.
That's very cool to hear. Well, shout out Billy Gunn. He will be speaking of big time wrestling. He'll be wrestling this coming Friday at the Newark Pavilion. That's going to be an awesome show as well. It's going to be a very busy week with AEW Wednesday, Thursday, and big time wrestling.
If you're living in the Bay, man, wrestling's booming this week. So there's no. If I catch anyone saying, "Oh, I can't make this and that," man, just shut the hell up. There's plenty of opportunities for you to come out Wednesday night to the SAP, Thursday to Stockton. So we're out here.
Well, let's talk about that, though. I mean, Will, obviously, I've known you for a long time, seen you wrestle for a long time here in the Bay Area, and we're all super happy for you for your success in AEW. And I know you have a lot more you want to accomplish. But let's talk about before AEW, the Bay Area independent wrestling scene. I love reflecting on that time, just as a fan, being able to go for so many years supporting all the different local promotions from APW, Big Time Wrestling, West Coast Pro Wrestling, everyone in the surrounding area, Northern California, from the Bay to Sacramento. I really, was it like 2016, 2017, 2018? It was really booming between.
Yeah, it was hot.
So many people coming in here. I mean, yourself wrestling, Jeff Cobb, Jacob Fatu, so many people, all in indie guys from around the country.
Jungle Boy was out here. Jack Perry was out here.
Jungle Boy, yeah. Also with Pro Wrestling Revolution, all his work there too. It was really an amazing time. And for you, were you able to enjoy that in that moment, or is it more now just reflecting in hindsight, like, man, that was such an incredible time period. I wish I could.
It was. I mean, you think of everyone you mentioned that is out in the mainstream right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you think, it was a hotbed for us. We were booming. So you look at all the names that you've mentioned, and we're all doing something.
Yeah. Were you able to, with so many talent coming through, was that motivating? Like, one guy or gal can have like a really great match and get noticed, go viral, potentially get signed. Yeah, was there a lot of competition?
It was competition. I looked at it as competition and thought about, wow, okay, see them, okay, why not me? So, there was a huge chip on my shoulder, still is. So, it was, for me, it was competition.
With that, though, in AEW, what do you think has been some of your career highlights? Any particular moment that stands out for you the most?
Winning the Face of the Revolution ladder match, opening Dynamite a few times against Brian Cage, Darby Allin, Hangman. I've got to open up the shows. Wrestling in front of 20,000 plus people, at Grand Slam. So I can't pinpoint one.
I was going to say one. What
is that?
Body slamming Paul White on a car, man, lifting him up.
And we haven't seen him since, huh? No. But that was definitely like passing the torch for me. Slamming Paul.
How was that though? Like, he's a big man. We all know that. Like,
yeah, he's a big man is not the word. I mean, 7'4", 500 pounds. Like, that was crazy, but it was one of those. For me, it was one of those moments that was like, okay, this is gonna go viral. I did catch it on TMZ, so it was. I definitely thank Paul.
Yeah. For you though, your TNT Championship reign, I want to ask about that. For you, one, I feel like a lot of people in AEW had a TNT title reign. They got some custom titles. Look at Jungle Boy right now. He personally handmade his title design. Miro, Scorpio Sky, a lot of guys had custom designs. Was there ever an opportunity for you to get a custom belt?
No, there wasn't. But never say never. If I get a chance to get a championship again, I will have a custom belt.
What would have you thought about creatively?
It's going to be like? On one end, it's going to be the Bay Bridge. On the other end, it's going to be the Golden Gate Bridge.
Nice. Any particular color?
Probably call it the Beta Breaker. The TNT logo right in the center. 89 World Series, right? Giants versus A's. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Any particular colors you would use on that one to change it up?
Um, I'm a big fan of navy blue.
Me
So,
too.
but we'll see when the time comes around.
Sweet. Okay. Well, also another career highlight, and I saw you retweeted this. So a little over a year ago, you had a big win over Chris Jericho.
Mhm.
What that moment mean for you to be one of the all-time greats?
I've never seen Chris Jericho dominated like that, and I think that was a special moment because I mean, if you watch that match and you look around after the 1, 2, 3, the camera's panning around, just everyone's in shock.
Mm-hmm.
So that was definitely a career highlight, beating someone who's been in the business over 30 years, multiple time world champion, who's on a Mount Rushmore professional wrestling, and
Yeah.
just the way he changes and adapts to the business.
Mm-hmm.
He's like I call him a chameleon because he can adapt. Doesn't matter what era of pro wrestling, he's adapted to it.
Exactly. And I know, was it him and Don Callis that both help you with the Book of Hobbs stuff? Those vignettes, were those the two guys that
Yeah,
helped you?
yeah. Those were their ideas to come out to Oakland and some old stomping grounds and film some stuff.
Is that something we can hopefully see more of with your
I
return?
would love to. I would love to, but that's not up to me. But I would love to continue and capitalize on that, and furthermore tell that story.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure for you a lot of spots in your neck of the woods, the Bay Area, East Palo
Oh yeah,
Alto, Oakland.
yeah.
Love to show off and
Oh
just
yeah.
yeah. Um, Also for you, I do want to ask about, first off, congrats to AEW. It was announced, was it last week, the week before, they officially signed a new multi-year, multimedia rights deal with
Mhm.
Warner Brothers Discovery. Dynamite is going to stay on TBS. Collision is going to stay on TNT.
Yeah.
And both shows will be able to stream live on Max,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to watch the pay-per-views starting January there.
Yeah.
What does that mean for you? And I don't know if you got any reaction from any other of the wrestlers that AEW is going to stick around for a few more years
Yeah,
with this new
it's
rights deal.
obvious that the right people believe in us.
Mm-hmm.
So to sign a multi-year deal like that, and being on a major streaming service, is just opens up the opportunity for new viewers who aren't already interested in pro wrestling. Because I mean, there's so many times you're clicking and stream, just browsing through
Mm-hmm.
apps, and I guarantee there's going to be people. Oh, what is this?
Yeah.
Click on it, bam! They're going to continue to watch weekly, and it's going to grow, and it's going to word of mouth is going to spread. So it's definitely a great thing.
Also, for you and I and other fans on the West Coast, it makes it a lot easier to tune in to watch the East Coast live feed.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm super
definitely,
excited for that.
definitely.
Yes, absolutely. I do want to touch on real quick. What I love about you and really respect, and I saw you in person do this at the Cow Palace and other shows. People have acknowledged you like to go out and watch the show. If
Yeah,
you,
I'm not a fan of watching wrestling on a monitor. I like going
yeah,
out feeling the energy of the
hmm
crowd.
hmm
Like catching everything live. I mean, there's going to be times where I have to watch it in the back, but if I can sneak out and pop my head out and feed off that energy, and feel what the wrestling fans are feeling, because I'm still a fan myself, so I like feeling that energy.
yeah. And one thing I've always respected, you seem like a really good eye for talent and paying attention to what's going on. So, with that being said, though, I forgot to mention this earlier. What are your thoughts on the current landscape of the Bay Area indie wrestling scene? Since I've seen you at multiple shows, is there anyone you got your eye on, or just in general, just what do you think of the
I
Bay
think
Area?
it's picking back up.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not as hot as it used to be, but it's
hmm
definitely picking back up.
hmm definitely agree with you there. Also, AEW has expanded, go to other markets internationally as well.
Hmm.
Is there any markets outside the US that you would like to travel to with AEW?
Yeah, man, I'm looking to go down under in February. If it's possible, we're hitting Australia. So I would maybe love to box a kangaroo. I'm joking. I don't want animal rights activist coming at me, I would not hit a kangaroo. But just to check out a different culture will be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to hear. So, also for you, I'm really excited to see what's next for you. I mean, what are your personal goals for AEW once you come back? Is it to get back to TNT Championship? Is it the World Championship tag? What are your personal goals?
For me, my personal goal is how I'm going to change the business. What am I going to do to separate myself?
Yeah,
And I say the business because I'm like Warren G. I want it all. So there's not one specific goal I have. It's just how am I going to change the business? What am I going to do that's different? What am I going to draw people into? What type of emotion am I going to get out of them? So how can I help the business grow?
Also, before I forget, your time in Team Taz, a lot of great memories there. Just from your perspective, I know you got Don Callis Family right now, but previously Team Taz. During that time period, what were some of your major takeaways from your time in Team Taz, and what you learned most from there?
Taz, to learn from him, is to be ruthless. Take no prisoners. So I mean, Taz is a friend of mine, and it's just how we took nothing and made it into something. Because at first we were given very little time, and it caught on. So, and just turning I don't want to curse too much, but taking a pile of doo doo and turning it into something.
Yeah, and respect for that. I mean, you guys did your thing and really, make Team Taz a really just unstoppable force that people need to recognize. And
yes,
also with AEW is, I really love seeing what you've been able to do. Is there a particular favorite match that you had so far in AEW?
I like to think my match with Sammy was a good one on Collision. So I'm proud of every match I've had, to be honest with you, because any opportunity I get, I feel I knock that shit out the park. That I may be biased because I'm talking about myself, but that's what I feel. So
yeah. Well, speaking of the roster, AEW's had a lot of big free agent signings earlier this year. We had Okada, Will Osprey, Mercedes Moné. Recently, Shelton Benjamin, MVP, showing up. Yep. There's more rumors of other people potentially signing. What does that mean for you that all these big names are coming over to AEW?
Competition. I look at it as I don't like anybody invading my space.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I don't know, in a wrestling term, that's a shoot. I don't like anybody invading my space. But another good thing out of it is maybe it's a chance to learn from someone else. Maybe they're going to see something that I don't see. I'm open for being critiqued. So,
yeah. No, is there anyone in particular out of the free agent signings you would love to mix it up with in the squared circle?
I'm open, man. I'm open. Me, I don't run from nobody, so I'm open.
Yeah. Well, listen, Will, from all of us here in the Bay Area, I know I've said this before, but everyone is so proud of you. Just what
I appreciate that, man. I really do. We've known each other for probably over a decade now, man. Yeah. So I appreciate that coming from you.
Yeah, and I know this injury was very tough for you. I sent you a text. I'm sure you were flooded with people reaching out.
It was a blessing in disguise. So I learned a lot about myself during this time off. So
I'm sure for you, you're able to spend some time with your family. I mean, how tall your son is now, man.
Yeah, he's 6'9" right now, so he's taller than you. So.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So yeah. He's huge.
So for you, I'm sure, as you said, blessing in disguise. I'm sure you got a lot of great family time being off the road. With the injury, though, I mean, I know mentally that can be very tough because it's like you wish you're out there on the road. You're seeing other people wrestle, doing things. How'd you kind of overcome all that?
I had reached out to a friend who had a few knee injuries. So, and he actually recommended some books for me. and just to read that, get motivated, because I was in the gym a week after surgery. So, and it wasn't about lifting heavy weights. It was more about getting my rhythm back, getting a feel for it, doing certain movements that my body would allow me to, just actually being in there. And then going to physical therapy 6 days a week for 3 hours on top of going to the gym. It was my job to get better. A lot of people will sit their ass on the couch and complain. I can't do that. I got kids who depend on me. I got kids who I need to succeed for and continue to put food on the table. So there was no time really for feeling sorry for myself. Because when I got injured, I asked Doc Sampson how long could this injury usually is for someone, and he gave me the standard time, which is maybe 8 months plus. And I said I'm going to do that shit in 4 months. So by 4 months, I was actually good to go. But I had to wait another 3 weeks. So I was good to go. So. I'm not normal. I tell people that. I've been telling people that since, I could tie my shoes. So, there's people that depend on me. So I had to get my ass in gear. There wasn't any time for moping around or feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah.
Injuries happen in wrestling. So it is what it is.
Well, respect to you. If people check out Will's Twitter, the little highlight video of you getting physical therapy and very intense activities and bottles like liquid, like
those tidal wave balls. I want to shout out RNA, Ryan Ting, who is a 2-time national champion football player for USC. He's trained some great athletes in this past Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
So he's in Fremont, California. His dad is Dr. Arthur Ting. If anybody who's familiar with high school sports focus, that's who helped me out. So.
The sponsor every single week on that show. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, they got me back in gear. They got me right. So it's, they're definitely ahead of the curve. So like I said, man, I was in the gym Monday through Friday, 2 hours a day, going to physical therapy 6 days a week, 3 hours. So that was my job.
Well, I'm glad we were able to have a high school sports focus reference on this. So for everyone in the Bay Area, we all know.
Friday nights, baby.
Friday nights, yes. I was on there once. I got my name mentioned once. I hit a 3-pointer against Berkeley High at my high school in Cincinnati. So.
I was on there a few times, myself. I got the VHS tape somewhere.
I got to convert mine too digitally. I have it.
Right.
Because that was our sports center, man. You set the VCR.
The Bay Area, it was.
Yes. Wait, where'd you go to high school again? Where is it?
Sequoia.
Gotcha. Okay, sweet. So yeah, I need we'll have to digitally convert ours and show each other.
Yes. On social media.
It's actually funny. Brody Brazil was here filling in our sister station a couple weeks ago, and I was able to kind of geek out with him. He started after I graduated high school already, but then let's talk about the significance of high school sports focus.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, oh man, well,
there's a pillar in the Bay.
Well, I know I could talk all day with you. You know that, but I encourage everyone. Well, first off, thank you for everything. We encourage all you guys, go check out AEW Dynamite and Rampage. It's going to be this Wednesday at the SAP Center in San Jose. Get your tickets, Ticketmaster.com, AEWTix.com. Of course, watch Dynamite every Wednesday, 8 p.m. on TBS Collision. Every Saturday, 8 p.m. on TNT. Like you said, also Stockton Thursday night. They could be at the Stockton Arena, Ticketmaster.com as well. So check out
Collision and Battle of the Belts 12.
That's right. So you got all the AEW shows coming through the Bay Area. So much to look forward to. Love AEW coming through here. And like I said, Powerhouse Hobbs, thank you so much for everything.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Huey.
All right. I'll see you later on this week, okay?
Yeah, shoot me a text.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
All right, man. All right.